Hi there, this is David, and welcome to new RPG news all the way from Stuttgart, Germany. Yeah, I'm still not home, and I'm the only person who never actually gets a vacation because I'm a workaholic. What can I say? So, today we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of different stories, from a Square Enix disaster, to some fantastic new releases, to some Kingdom Hearts 4 news as well, and I do think that is worth a sub, as I do try my hardest to hit 100,000 subscribers. And with your help, your like, and your sub, I do know that I can get there, so thank you so much for that. Our top story today. Square Enix admits that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Final Fantasy XVI did not meet expectations as far as their profits are concerned, so it looks like a multi-platform strategy is underway, which we kind of already knew about, but now they're actually coming out in full force and saying it in a financial report that was held in May, but finally made public today. So what we heard about before was a rumor, and now it is confirmed. They said, in the HD Games sub-segment, we released multiple new titles, including major titles like Final Fantasy XVI and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but profits unfortunately did not meet our expectations. Further, he stated initial sales of Foam Stars and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, released in Q4 of the last financial year, were not as strong as suspected. You think that Foam Stars wouldn't be that strong? That's a shock to no one. It's important to note that these comments were made in May, at the same time that Square Enix announced that it was aggressively pursuing a multi-platform strategy. Shortly after, reports laid off a number of employees and its US and European offices emerged. So yeah, it must have been really bad for them to then go ahead and do layoffs as well. But as we've seen in the last couple of years, layoffs are nothing new in the gaming industry. It seems to happen far too often because people are spending way too much money and way too much time on games rather than making games fun, going into core gameplay. They are hyper-focused on stuff that no one cares about. Are the pixels on this rock 2 miles off in the distance, are they pixel perfect? Like, no one gives a shit. Sales tracking previously stated that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the 4th top-selling game in the United States, but it remains far behind sales of the previous entry, Final Fantasy VII Remake. So, yeah, that's what happened. So I'm guessing that the third entry isn't going to be as well as the second entry either, because that's normally what happens with these series, people just kind of taper off as it goes on. Secondly, Final Fantasy XVI was released on the PC, continuing the company's push towards multi-platform releases. And while Rebirth remains a PS5 console exclusive for now, it's likely that it will follow Final Fantasy VII Remake with a PC release in the future. I'm sure it's just a timed exclusive, just like the first one. Then they say at the very end, could these games be coming also to Xbox? Well, more than likely. They said that they would like to further deepen the relationship with Xbox gamers. So more than likely, these will be coming to Xbox sooner rather than later. Called it! This is a post from Genki, where he is talking about some quotes from the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth director, saying that they want to allow for more freedom and evolve the battle system in Part 3 of the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy, which is kind of obvious. You can't have the exact same battle system. They are going to be changing it up. They did synergy attacks for Part 2. We don't know what they're going to do for Part 3, but we will move on with there. And it says, I believe that instead of the developers or the creators dictating how the players should play along a pre-planned path, so to speak, it's better to allow more freedom and the user's choice to be able to play in their own way that they wish to. My thoughts are also that for the Final Fantasy series to continue to reinvent itself, to revitalize itself, and stay fresh to our players, this type of constant evolution is necessary in terms of the battle elements as well. So he's talking about the battle system, but he's also talking about exploration, and this is where I called it. I made a whole video on this, actually, a couple of weeks ago when this first came out, with my predictions of what was going on with Part 3, and basically, what they're saying is, we're not going to go along a predetermined path, we're allowing the players more freedom. So, that tells me, remember in Final Fantasy VI when the World of Ruin happened, and you started off with Celeste, and then you went through and you grabbed Edgar, you grabbed Sabin, and then you grabbed Setzer, and then boom, you got the Falcon, and you were able to fly off the entire World of Ruin and do everything else in whatever order you wanted to? I think that's what's going to be happening with Part 3. They're going to set you off on a predetermined path, you know, with tutorials or whatever, and then pretty soon, maybe within 3, 4, 5 hours, they're going to give you an airship of some sorts. Maybe the Highwind, maybe the Tiny Bronco, we don't really know, but something to soar off into the world and complete all sorts of side quests and everything else in whatever order you want to, and I think that's going to be fan-fricking-tastic! In a turn of events that no one saw coming, and whenever I say no one, I really mean everyone, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company file a lawsuit against Pocket Pair for Pal World. I mean, it was marketed as Pokemon with guns, and then whenever they came out, they looked exactly like Pokemon, but whatever. Nintendo, together with the Pokemon Company, filed a patent infringement lawsuit in the Tokyo District Court against Pocket Pair on September 18th, seeking an infringement and compensation for damages on the grounds that Pocket Pair developed Pal World infringes on multiple patent rights. Nintendo did not specify which patent rights Pal World infringes, but they did say that it will continue to take the necessary actions against the infringement of its IP's rights to protect the properties that it's established over the years. Pocket Pair went ahead and issued the following response. Yesterday, a lawsuit was filed against our company for patent infringement. We have received notice of this lawsuit and will begin the appropriate legal proceedings and investigations into the claims of patent infringement. At this moment, even they, are still unaware of the specific patents that we are accused of infringing upon, and we've not been notified of such details. And then they go on, we're really sorry about this, blah, 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 please play our game. So yeah, how do you feel about this? Let me know in the comments about this, about these lawsuits and everything else that's going on here between Nintendo and just about every other developer out there that infringes upon Nintendo, that even steps on Nintendo's toes. Let me know what you guys feel about this. Earlier this week, I put out a review for Flowstone Saga, which is fantastic little game, little indie RPG right here. It's kind of like Animal Crossing or just like a traditional RPG meeting Tetris, and it's actually really freaking cool, but unfortunately it has been very briefly delayed just by about a week. It was supposed to come out on the day that my review went live, which was the 17th, but now it's been delayed till September the 26th. It says that the developer stated the delay is due to an issue with the final approval on Steam surrounding the full controller support label, and has confirmed that the game will be 100% controller compatible, including full Steam Deck compatibility. I've got to say, whenever I played the game, it had full controller support. I had no issues with that whatsoever, but apparently there's some issue with Valve right there. So I just wanted to set the record straight and just let y'all know that it has been delayed, but it will be out on the 26th. In some super exciting news, Gem Drops is exhibiting 3 unannounced titles at this year's Tokyo Game Show, plus Pico Park 2, which I've never heard of, but whatever. Tokyo Game Show is going to be from the 26th to the 29th of this month. Its lineup includes 3 unannounced titles, and why is this so exciting for me? Well, what has Gem Drops done before? They did Grandia, they did Star Ocean 2R. What else could they possibly be doing? What else could they be remaking? I don't know, but I'm super excited to find out. And now for some demo news. We have a couple of demos that have recently released this week. First up, Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven demo is now available for everyone, and the save data carries over into the full game. This is coming out for the PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC. And what's so cool about this is I actually got a chance to play this demo before any of you. Yeah. Square Enix invited me to a special event to play this demo, the Fantasian Neo Dimension demo, as well as the Dragon Quest III demo, and I was able to put out videos on all 3 of those, and I think I did that maybe 2 weeks ago or so if you're looking for those videos, go on back and you will find them. But yeah, now y'all can play the demo too, and whenever I told y'all that, like, this is like, it's great, you will now see it for yourself. You will see just how good it is. This is not a straight port. This is remade from the ground up, and it's remade in a way that everybody can understand it. Saga is not complicated. Saga is understandable. Woohoo! Blows my little mind. So it is kind of a short demo, but yeah, I think that you will really, really, really thoroughly enjoy it. Another demo is out. This is for Reynatus, now available in the West right here. This is coming out for the PS4 and PS5. That's what the demo is available for. I know that it's also coming out on the Oh, is it available for other things? Okay, so it's available for the PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. I was gonna say, I know it's available on other things, but I don't know if the demo is available over there. But yeah, it is. So, so the demo is available everywhere to play, and I guess I can't say this because the embargo's up. I got a chance to play the entire full game of this, but again, I'm in Germany right now, so it's really hard for me to edit and put together a review for it, but do look forward to a forthcoming review of Reynatus from me, not just over the demo, but over the full game. I'll probably release it maybe the day before release or on the actual release day, since I am missing embargo, but you know, I'm in Germany and it is what it is. Tribe 9 limited time deadly demo for the PC is available only from the 15th to the 22nd of October. I don't know why they're announcing this now in September, but whatevs. It's featuring over 20 hours of content. Like, that's not a demo. Like, that's a lot. Like, 20 hours for a demo? Like, what? That is quite a bit. It says it's a high-energy action RPG set in a world where groups of rebellious teens, each with their own unique abilities, battle against unbeatable odds. Tribe 9 features a gripping storyline and distinctive art style crafted by the creators of the beloved Danganronpa series. The Tribe 9 demo promises a thrilling, high-stakes adventure of 20 hours! That's like the game. Like, that's like the game. That's crazy to me. The Legend of Heroes Kai no Kiseki Farewell Ozamuria details 3 more characters and Day 1 DLC. Meet Amelia, Nina, and the Grandmaster. Again, this is not the game that's coming out early next year. That is Trails Through Daybreak 2. Kai no Kiseki hasn't been out in even Japan yet, but this is the next one that is coming out in the series. So, it says right here, we know all about... Is this Hermes? Is this Hermes right here? It looks like it's Hermes. That's who we met in... That's who we met in Trails Through Daybreak. There's also Nina Fenley right here, who we also met in Trails Through Daybreak. So I don't know why they're detailing these characters right there. Oh, there's Judith off in the background there. Judith is my favorite character in Daybreak. Easily my favorite character. Oh, look, there's Van. Hey, awesome. And then, the thing that I really care about is the Grandmaster. The Grandmaster is finally revealed. It says, that was inevitable as well. Wander of Daybreak. Ooh, so creepy. The mysterious leader and the absolute leader of Ouroboros. She has a supernatural aura to her that makes it feel like she is from another dimension. She speaks as if she knows everything about the past and the future and is planning her actions accordingly. It seems like she's connected to the Beyond and has forged weapons under the Divergent laws, which she has given to a number of Anguisse members and enforcers. It is also said that the Astral Code, the independent network for Ouroboros, is a system language able to describe the Divergent laws that she brought from the Beyond. She looks oddly similar to a certain character in Nayuta Boundless Trails. So if you haven't played Nayuta, you might want to. Here's some DLC. We have Bunny Girl and Bunny Boy. DLC right there. Looking at the bunny tails on Aaron and Van is just making me laugh. And then I don't know. This is the Day 1 DLC. There's also a 4 SPG United costume set right here. Just some various, costume stuff or whatever. So it's not like the biggest deal if you don't get this DLC, but Day 1 DLC still bothers me, but it is here. So if you wanted it, oh, that's cute, little chibi art characters or whatever. The little shoulder guys. So there is some Day 1 DLC here, which is bothersome, but it doesn't look like it's too important. Dragon's Dogma 2 gets a casual mode update now available, plus various other additions, adjustments, and fixes. And whenever they say various, they mean a plethora. They mean a laundry list. They mean quite a bit. But it says right here that you have full patch notes, but it adds in a casual mode, and as you can see, there's quite a bit. The main things to me are at least the reduced fees at the inn, the reduced price of the fairy stones, more difficult for weight carry to become heavy or very heavy. That was always bugging me. That bugged me back in EverQuest. I played a shaman in EverQuest, and I would pick up like little gems, which didn't really cost much of anything. But every time that I would loot a corpse and there would be like a huge weapon or whatever, like shamans didn't have that much strength, or at least my barbarian shaman didn't have that much strength, and he would get overburdened so quickly, and it was so annoying to have to gate to go back to town to to, you know, get that stuff off of him. Less stamina expended when dashing outside of a battle, and then whenever I talk about, like, these notes, like, holy, oh my gosh. Like, there's a lot of changes. Changes to various job classes, edits, everything for this casual mode. So if you wanted to get into Dragon's Dogma, but you thought it was too overwhelming, or you too scared to get into it, maybe you thought it was too hard, maybe you're like me and you're just not used to Western RPGs, so you need something to kind of ease yourself into it, then this casual mode is perfect for you. Over the past couple of weeks, we've been hearing about this Disney Pixel RPG. It like came out of nowhere, but it looks like it's already ready to launch, at least on October the 7th, and pre-registration already exceeds 600,000 people wanting to play this game. It's going to launch for the iOS via the App Store and Android via Google Play on October 17th worldwide. Gung Ho Entertainment announced. Gung Ho! They sent me some Grandia thing a couple of months ago. I put it out on Twitter. It was a beautiful Grandia display. Then I did like a Grandia giveaway for it too. They actually like hosted me a giveaway thing for Grandia as well. I was really taken aback by it. I had no idea. It just kind of arrived in my mail, and then I sent them an email. I was like, oh, thank you so much. They were like, oh, do you want to do a giveaway thing? And I'm like, yeah, of course I want to do a giveaway. So I thought that was really neat. We've heard about this. This is kind of like Kingdom Hearts meets, I don't know, Android Pixel RPG. It seems to be like baby's first RPG, because I was going over this the other week, and they were like, if you're a more advanced RPG player, you can do advanced tactics like attack and defend and use items. And I'm like, that's advanced? So this is like Kingdom Hearts sort of thing. The game worlds that Disney characters have all collided and been invaded by strange programs, and there's chaos going around. So if you're interested in this like I am, you might want to pre-register. Cabernet launches October the 24th. This is a 19th century Europe-inspired 2D narrative RPG. Never really heard of it, but it's coming out for the PC, and it says that it's set in 19th century Eastern Europe-inspired world with a modern twist. Guide Liza, a young vampire struggling with her mortality, don't you mean immortality, and the supernatural world that she's been pulled into. Will you retain your humanity or descend further into the horror that you have become? Prepare to explore a hidden world of political intrigue, class conflict, and decadent corruption. And because she's a vampire, it says, to lure your next meal somewhere safe and secluded, you'll need to understand who they are and what they desire. A kind-hearted alcoholic coachman? A fraying newlywed couple? A greedy yet charming charlatan? Their lives are yours to aid or unravel. So this to me almost seems like something like Radiata Stories or something like that, or Ephemeral Fantasia. Ugh. So, you know, the secret life of the NPC right here, but, you know, are you going to be good to them, or are you going to suck their blood? Ninth Dawn Remake launches on September the 25th, and it says the Book of the Nameless novel is due out on the same date. It's going to be launching for the PC over on Steam. And it says right here, Ninth Dawn, the Book of the Nameless, is the first novel in the Ninth Dawn universe, which I've never heard of. This will also be available at launch. It's written by L.R. Gaunt and set 100 years before the events of the game. Here's an overview. Like the original title, Ninth Dawn Remake is a truly massive open-world RPG where dedicated and curious players can spend over 200 hours completing the main and side quests, collecting rare loot, and raising monster pets. Bursting at the seams with dungeon-crawling hijinks, Ninth Dawn Remake lovingly riffs on the original Ninth Dawn game. Revamping, I'm guessing that's revamping, evamping? The combat and streamlining quests deliver a novel, exhilarating Ninth Dawn experience. It's also been localized into multiple languages as well, has different new features and all that. This must be some fantasy novel series or whatever that I just don't even know about. I didn't even read Lord of the Rings. I know, I'm a horrible, horrible gaming nerd. Luma Island launches on November the 20th with a Steam Next Fest demo available on October the 14th. This is a farming adventure RPG, and it says, travel to Luma Island to go on an epic adventure by yourself or with your friends and family. Build up your dream farm, master professions, and collect magical Lumas. Find treasures and unravel the mysteries of the island. You can play it solo or up to 4 friends and family members. This island is yours to discover. This looks like one of those like cozy-ish RPGs, but you know, I figured I'd bring it up to y'all. This is actually kind of cool. I didn't think that we'd ever see this coming. Freedom Wars Remastered has been announced for the PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC, due out on January the 10th of 2025, published by Bandai Namco. This is a remake of a 2014 PlayStation Vita, I know, action RPG, and it says it includes all previously released downloadable content as well. So you get the remake and you also get all the DLC. The about. For the crime of existing, your 1,000,000-year sentence begins today. In a dystopian future, the world is ravaged by pollution and depleted of natural resources, and humanity lives in sprawling prison complexes called panopticons? I don't know. Anyone born into this hellscape are deemed sinners. Players seek their freedom by volunteering for extremely dangerous combat operations to complete with other panopticons for what remains of the planet's dwindling resources. It's almost like the Hunger Games or something. So yeah, this is just kind of interesting to me. So yeah, I mean, you have a screenshot comparison of what it looked like on the Vita, and you can see how pixelated it was and everything, and now what it looks like now in the remake right there. I like bright, colorful, happy games. I'm a happy person, and I like my games to be happy too. I don't like them dark and evil and violent and gory. Ugh. Like, I like bright, colorful, happy things. So, colorful action RPG Starlight R-Evolver, because you can't just say Revolver, God frickin' forbid, announced for the PC. It's due out in early access in 2025. I don't understand what is up with all these JRPGs and they're weird, I call them semicolon RPGs. I don't understand what it is about it. What is with the titling of these RPGs where you can't just like call it Starlight Revolver? Why is it R-E-Volver? Why do they do that? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I will never understand it. They purposely make their names weird so nobody can pronounce them, so then everybody thinks, oh, that's a weird game. I don't want to play that game. Like, and that's why these RPGs stay such a niche and they can't go mainstream and more people can't, you know, just like fall in love with RPGs the way that I have and the way that y'all have, because they see these names and they're like, what? What is that? At least back in the day, whenever I played these, you know, whenever I was playing RPGs and I didn't know about it, they were called normal things, like Dragon Warrior, Breath of Fire, Final Fantasy, like normal things. It wasn't, you know, Final R-Evolver Fantasy, like, so stupid. Anyway, an anime-inspired action-adventure with co-op multiplayer and roguelike gameplay. This is set between the lush, cutting-edge city of Nishi Island Metropolis and Somi, the otherworldly dreamlike realms that fuel Nim's prosperity. Wielding mysterious devices called the R-Evolvers to hop between Nim and Somi, players become divers, brave voyagers who crash throughout the walls of reality in pursuit of untapped riches. This is a love letter to the animes and games of the 90s and 2000s that the Podo Labs teams grew up with. I didn't grow up with them. Oh, good. Okay, so the game mixes Japanese action RPG combat with elements of Western roguelikes, all wrapped up in a charming social world inspired by classic online worlds. I watched one anime! It was Sailor Moon, and I watched the first season, and then the second season came out with those twin alien people, and I hated them, so I quit watching it. So there you go, there's my anime history in a nutshell. We're getting more stuff out of Atlas. Last week, we learned that the Devil Summoner games 1 and 2 are coming out for the PC. We know that because of some leaks over on the Steam, but now they are saying right here that Persona 5 The Phantom X presentation for Japan is set for September the 25th. This is a free-to-play mobile RPG. It's currently available in China, Taiwan, and Korea, but not Japan and not the West either. So we have an official Japanese Twitter account also being opened, them, you know, putting this game out, displaying it in Japan, so it's obviously coming out in Japan, even though it said that it's still under consideration for Japan, even though it's obviously coming out for Japan. But anyway, but we still don't know if it is coming out worldwide yet, because that is also under consideration. We shall see. This is a huge market, and Persona is very, very, very popular here, so it would really make a lot of sense for them to release this here in the West. What do you all think about this game? Let me know in the comments. And in our final story of the day, and kind of some sad news right here, just as we're seeing the Trails series kind of wrapping up, at least what's going on in Zamuria wrapping up, it looks like the Kingdom Hearts series might also be wrapping up, and maybe, if we're lucky, the story might, you know, make some sense. We shall see. The director says that he's currently making Kingdom Hearts 4 with the intention of it being a story that is heading towards the series' conclusion. He says that he only has a couple of years left until he retires, and then it becomes a thing of whether he will retire first or the series will be concluded first. So he wants this to be his like final big game series and saying, you know, if I'm going to retire, I want to go out, I want to end my series the way that I want it to end. I don't want somebody else to take it over and kind of redo the legacy that I've created. This series has been going on strong since the PS2 era, back whenever I was in college, and it's still going on right now. The story is all over the place, but they're fun games, fun action RPGs, so we will see if he's able to wrap it up the way that he wants to, or if Square like kind of takes it out from under him and says, you know, you can wrap up your game, but we're still going to make other spin-offs, or we're going to do whatever with the series. Hopefully it does still continue on in some form after he retires. Like, that would be horrible if a game series like Final Fantasy ended when the creator left the company, or if Dragon Quest would end whenever Yuji Horii dies or something like that. That would be absolutely horrible for us to suffer in that way. So yeah, it looks like Kingdom Hearts might be wrapping up. We don't know. I think that they'll probably continue on with the series, though. We shall see. Let me know what y'all think about all these news stories. Let me know what you think about Kingdom Hearts 4 and just the series in general in the comments. And as always, have a good day.